And this story is basically Russian to rent tech-savvy prisoners to Corp IT. Where they do that at? Hello. My name is Marc Drouinaud Jr. and if you're new here, I do cyber-related videos. Please feel free to relax and enjoy the content. Like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. This is Cybersecurity Week, and what we'll be doing today, we'll be discussing some of the top trending stories in the cybersecurity world. We have a White House story. We have a Russia, China, Ukraine stories. Oh my gosh, it is juicy. You're going to want to know this. Let's get right into it. The first story by Joe W., which is the White House wants nation to prepare for cryptography breaking quantum computers. A memorandum issued Wednesday by President Joe Biden orders federal agencies to ramp up preparations for a day when quantum computers are capable of breaking the public key cryptography currently used to secure digital systems around the world. The document, National Security Memorandum 10, calls for a whole of government and a whole of society strategy for quantum information science, QIS, including the security enhancements provided by quantum resistant cryptography. The chief concern is the expected creation of a crypto-analytically relevant quantum computer, which is CRQC, the presumed goal of the QIS research by the US, as well as the adversaries such as China. Current research shows that at some point in the not-too-distant future, when quantum information science matures and quantum computers are able to reach a sufficient size and a level of sophistication, they will be capable of breaking much of the cryptography that currently secures our digital communications. A senior Biden administration official told reporters Tuesday in advance of the memorandum's release. That cryptography, in many cases, dates to work published in the late 1970s and updated in the decades since. The good news is that this is not an insurmountable problem, the official said. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, will soon be publishing new cryptographic standards that can protect against these future attacks. Biden's memorandum mentions quantum-resistant cryptography more than 20 times as it lays out tasks for agencies such as the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, the National Security Agency, and NIST, which has an authoritative role in setting cybersecurity standards. Those agencies will have about 6 months to establish requirements for inventorying all currently deployed cryptographic systems, including National Security Systems, NSS. NIST and CISA would be required to set up outreach with the private sector, including critical infrastructure operators, on transitioning important systems to quantum-resistant cryptography. Biden also issued an executive order Wednesday that would create a National Quantum Initiative Advisory Committee, including White House officials, and end up to 26 experts from industry, academia, and U.S. national laboratories. The order builds on the National Quantum Initiative Act signed into law by President Donald Trump in 2018. We have the second story. APT-29 phishing campaigns target government and diplomats, right? And this is by Cyware Hacker News. APT-29, aka Cozy Bear, has been active for quite some time and has impacted a lot of organizations, militaries, think tanks, and defense contractors. Recently, Mandiant uncovered another phishing campaign by the cyber espionage group targeting a diplomatic entity. Let's dive into some of the details. In a series of new campaigns, APT-29 is targeting government agencies and diplomats. The phishing emails pretend to contain policy updates and originated from legitimate email addresses belonging to embassies. The campaign lasted from January to March and used several topics and email addresses. Some of the tools used: the emails were eerily similar to those conducted by the Nobelium Group in 2021. APT-29 used RootSaw to deploy payloads, as well as exploited Dropbox and Firebase from C2. The attackers furthermore abused Atlassian's Trello and other cloud service platforms for C2 communication. The bottom line is APT-29 is a highly sophisticated gang, and Mandiant researchers believe that the ultimate aim of the attackers is to gain long-term persistence and access to victim environments, as well as gather foreign and diplomatic policy information from government entities. Cozy Bear is using a plethora of means to achieve its goals and maintain access to an infected environment. We have our third story by Krebs Security, and this story is basically Russian to rent tech-savvy prisoners to Corp IT. Where they do that at? Faced with a brain drain of smart people fleeing the country following its invasions of Ukraine, the Russian Federation is floating a new strategy to address a worsening shortage of qualified information technology experts, forcing tech-savvy people within the nation's prison population to perform low-cost IT work for domestic companies. Multiple Russian news outlets published stories on April 27th saying the Russian Federal Penitentiary Service had announced a plan to recruit IT specialists from Russian prisoners to work remotely for domestic commercial companies. Russian sentenced to forced labor will serve out their time at one of many correctional centers across dozens of Russian regions, usually at the center that is closest to their hometown. Alexander K., deputy head of Russia's penitentiary service, said his agency had received proposals from businessmen in different regions to involve IT specialists serving sentences in correctional centers to work remotely for commercial companies. K told Russian media outlets that under the proposal, people with IT skills at these facilities would labor only in IT-related roles, but would not be limited to working with companies in their own regions. We are approached with this initiative in a number of territories, in a number of subjects by entrepreneurs who work in this area, K told Russian state media organizations. We are only in the initial stage. If this is in demand, and this is most likely in demand, we think that we will not force specialists in this field to work in some other industries. Okay. So we have story 4. Pro-Ukraine hackers using Docker images to launch distributed denial of service attacks against a dozen Russian and Belarusian websites, DDoS. And this is by Pierluigi Paganini. Pro-Ukraine hackers likely linked to Ukraine IT army are using Docker images to launch distributed denial of service attacks, DDoS, against a dozen websites belonging to government, military, and media. The DDoS attacks also targeted 3 Lithuanian media websites. The attacks were monitored by cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, who discovered that the Docker engine honeypots deployed between February 27th and March 1st were compromised and used in the DDoS attacks. The attackers attempt to exploit misconfigured Docker installs to expose APIs and take over them to abuse their computational resources. Container and cloud-based resources are being abused to deploy disruptive tools. The use of compromised infrastructure has far-reaching consequences for organizations who may unwittingly be participating in hostile activity against Russian government, military, and civilian targets, reported CrowdStrike. Docker engine honeypots were compromised to execute 2 different Docker images targeting Russia, Belarusian, and Lithuanian websites in the DDoS attack, denial of service. The technique to compromise Docker's containers is widely adopted by financially motivated threat actors like Lemon Duck and Team TNT to abuse their resources and mine cryptocurrencies. These experts noticed that the Docker images target lists overlap with domains shared by the Ukraine IT Army, UIA. The attacks involved the 2 images that have been downloaded over 150 times, but the threat intelligence firm confirmed that CrowdStrike intelligence cannot determine the exact number of downloads originating from compromised infrastructure. that was the Cybersecurity News Week. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button right below the video and subscribe by clicking the big red button right below the video. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then you probably will enjoy these videos that's on the screen. So if you click on the screen right now, you can watch those. Do you have a cybersecurity story you want me to cover? Write it in the comment section below. Also, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications when I upload new videos. Lastly, please feel free to watch other videos on this channel. I'm looking at you right now. Click on my face. I'm wearing a dark blue shirt. I'm smiling. I'm wearing a dark blue shirt, smiling. Click on my face to subscribe to this channel. Stay safe, Hack Pack. Please feel free to watch, like, and comment other videos on this channel. Subscribe now.